When we first started, SIL, our partner, and us, CityRILCA, work with endangered communities by helping them to document and develop a writing system for their mother tongue. Our efforts to document, maintain, and revitalize endangered languages have grown over the years. We have more partners like UNESCO and UNICEF, who shared the same goals in promoting and supporting mother tongue-based multilingual education in the region. Then, in 2004, Mahidol University, together with other international partners, co-founded the MLE Working Group with the goal to promote mother tongue-based multilingual education, or MTB-MLE, and remove language barriers to promote inclusive, quality education learning outcomes for ethno-linguistic communities in the Asian-Pacific region.
Well, to be honest, the indigenous and ethnic minority speakers were not really on the map. To be honest, even in the UN's view, the Education for All movement that was launched in the 1990s really had no mention of language. So they were largely ignored.
If you asked then and even now, well-educated senior members of many ministries of education around the country, how many languages exist in their country, they will have no idea of the variety and the number that exist. Problem then and still now, but there was also, because of that, little motivation to maintain diversity. It wasn't understood, and even less motivation to make it part of education, which, as we know, is an essential part of maintaining and strengthening any minority language.
This international conference plays an important role in awareness raising in local communities around the world.
In a number of situations, in a number of countries, we have strong pilot projects and some projects supported by the government that are demonstrating how effective the use of minoritized languages can be in education, but there are still hundreds of thousands that need to be impacted. And that's why it's so important that we continue our work in advocacy and continue generating strong research that shows the effectiveness of MTB-MLE.
There's much better understanding of and even valuing of celebration of diversity in language and culture, and more concern about the loss of it. So there's more appreciation of the importance of mother tongue-based multilingual education, more policies, more programs, more opportunities. So there have been some wins, but there's still much to be done. And one of the problems is that the ministry officials and the high-level policy people that we might convince that mother tongue-based multilingual education is a good idea, they change, they move, and we start over again with a new set of managers and administrators and policymakers, and have to make the same arguments and present the same evidence. Many actors, including UNESCO, bilateral development agencies, don't necessarily have the persistence that other organizations do over time. And so the ability of SIL and others to really work not in a cycle of 2 or 3 years, but cycles of 5 and 10 and 15 years, that I think has been an important enabler. Plus, of course, there's been more evidence, global but also regional, to show that mother tongue-based multilingual education can really support education and increase ultimately education achievement. Another enabler, the ultimate involvement of high-level officials. Not easy to begin with, but a conscious attempt to work with ministers, deputy ministers, and others to get them convinced by the evidence and by the advocacy. Finally, I think the Bangkok Statement of Language and Inclusion was an important milestone, as an enabler of change. The issue now, of course, is how to follow it up, how to assess it, and how to make it a kind of living statement.